two friends in fiber coming to you from the Canadian prairies in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. We are a knitting podcast. I am Jocelyn. My co-host is
Diana.
And every once in a while we concisely actually talk about knitting.
Do we?
No, but it's a hope of mine one day. We'll get derailed by everything. Settle in, grab a cup of tea. If it is your first time watching us, welcome. Come on in, join the party. If you're a regular, again, you know the drill. You know what's going to happen. Diana's going to get all the segments out, and then I will start talking about something else.
We just talked for 10 minutes about bananas and bleach, so we're off to a great start.
It's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. We're moving really great today, guys.
Doing awesome.
It's episode 122. It's Sunday, July the 21st. And we have less than 6 days till Icon. Start panicking.
I'm supposed to do something with my wig this weekend.
Uh-huh. I can see how well that went for you.
I got a little bit derailed.
You did, and for a very good cause. Do you want to let everybody know what we're going to cover this week?
Yes, if I remember to leave my notebook open in a place where I could see it, that'd be really great.
That would professional podcaster right here.
We've got What's in Our Cup, Cool Threads, Woolly Workings, Fiber Flubs, Yarn on the Go, Wool Gathering, and Kniterature, and events, which I didn't write down, because I'm very professional.
I'm chugging my tea.
In my cup, my very noisy, mostly empty cup, I'll stop that now. I had an iced malt latte from Little Sister, but I opted not to drink that while we were recording because it's very loud, so I just have normal, boring water. But the iced malt latte was delicious. I drank it very fast.
I downloaded this game you can play on your phone called Plant Nanny.
I like it.
It's supposed to be that water reminder thing. I don't need a water reminder thing. I just kind of want to see how big I can make my plant with the water I normally consume.
Yeah, I might need to download this.
You drink water, and when you drink water, your plant electronically drinks water. But if you don't remember to drink water, you don't remember to check on your plant. So basically, it's when you water your plant, you water yourself.
I like it. Okay. We'll link to this in the show notes.
Things I learned about this morning. I'm like, that sounds like an excellent time suck. That's going on my phone right now. Hey, I downloaded Polytopia finally. We'll see if I can play it. I don't know.
Polytopia is a civilization sort of game where you gather resources, upgrade your cities, go conquer other cities, but it's all in very blocky, cute art. It's adorable.
I've had Harry Potter Wizards Unite for less than 3 weeks. I'm already at level 11.
I never remember to turn mine on. Gosh, you make me link so many stuffs. So many stuffs.
So many stuffs.
So many stuffs.
So many stuffs. Anyway, I'm chugging my lukewarm cup of tea because that's how long it takes us to get organized to do things. I'm just having a cup of mint tea from Twinings. So nothing fancy. It's a mid-afternoon mint tea kind of day. It's only 23 or 24 degrees Celsius. It is actually nice.
It's so nice. I'm wearing sleeves today. It's that nice.
It's not so... I'm wearing sleeves today. It's that nice.
Okay, I'm wearing long sleeves today.
I don't even.
It's not quite that cool out. I'm a little bit warm, to be totally honest.
I wear long sleeves in the winter.
No, you don't.
I wear short sleeve shirts in the winter, and then I put a cardigan over top. That's how I roll, folks. Oh my goodness.
The yarn that I'm knitting with right now is very similarly colored to my hair.
Are you knitting your hair into your project again?
I am. I'm trying really hard to knit my hair into my shawl.
Well, maybe you feel like you need to have your hair in there.
Maybe, but then I have to somehow detach it from either the shawl or my head, and it usually ends up being easier to detach it from my head, which makes me sad because this hair takes a very long time to grow. Well, it grows quickly, but to get this long hair, it's 10 years.
Well, yeah, but you haven't cut it in 10 years.
I actually cut off 6 inches.
Okay.
On Tuesday.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. I can reach the ends of it now.
If you didn't even notice.
It doesn't look any different. The only reason I can tell is because I can reach the ends of it now.
Okay. I don't think any of us are required to notice that much hair loss until there's a noticeable change that you notice.
Yeah.
That isn't when you're brushing your hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
My hairdresser still has to sit on the floor to cut my hair, so...
Oh my god.
Nothing's really changed.
Poor hairdresser.
Yeah, he's a good sport.
Oh, jeez.
We also get to talk about, nerd stuff, because he's a giant nerd, so we just talk about, D&D and comic books for 2 hours. It's great.
Yeah, that's fair. I like my hairdresser. She gives me a midday back comb.
What?
I don't do anything with my hair. I don't.
Yeah,
I
same.
don't style it. I don't blow dry it. I don't. We're getting fancy if I put it in a half ponytail like I did today, guys. Like, that's a lot of effort. It's about all I do, right? My hairdresser does a lot of stuff with her hair. So she likes to play with my hair. That's fine. I don't mind. She knows she can do whatever she wants. She also knows better than to curl it because it won't stay. My hair doesn't curl.
Mine will curl, but then it uncurls in about 10 minutes, no matter how much hairspray you use.
Yeah, I don't. My hair doesn't curl. My hair is straight. That's what it does. That's fine. It's not a problem. She has very naturally thick curly hair, so she's very adept at dealing with very thick hair. That's why I go to her, because I'm like, ha, you have my hair on your head. Only yours is curly and mine is straight. So she knows how to cut it, and she's very good at it, and that's fine. But she likes to back comb it to give it lift.
Okay.
At my roots, because she enjoys doing that, and she calls it a midday back comb. I'm always afraid to ask what an evening back comb is, because I don't think my hair needs that much volume ever. But she does a midday back comb, and I don't know what she's doing. They take your glasses off, guys. I can barely see the camera less than 3 feet from us. Never mind a mirror, like 4 feet away from me. And they hold up the mirror in the back and they're like, do you like it? I'm like, it's still a freaking blurry blob. Yeah, it looks great. My hairdresser doesn't do that. She just goes, you're even, Justin, you're good. Cool. Get out of the chair now. She knows I can't see it till I get right up to the mirror.
So it's great. They tell you have to take off your glasses. I'm like, okay, what do you think of that? And like, I don't know. Can I have my glasses back?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think it looks good. Maybe. I don't know. Like, I can see the color. That's about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can tell you the color looks good without my glasses on.
After that, I ain't gotta hope, you guys. So, yeah, no, she calls it a midday back comb. She assures me that there can be more back comb going on. I assure her my hair does not ever need to be that back combed. Ever. And that's as fancy as my hair gets, and she'll put some hairspray in it, because then tell me not to play with it for at least an hour, because it drives me batty to have any back combing in my hair at all. Absolutely nutsoid crazy to have products in my hair. So she does that to me just out of spite and sheer torture. Well, I'll show up sometimes and she'll be like, there's this new hair treatment thing. I'm like, my hair doesn't. She's like, to the sink. She's like 5 feet tall in her heels. She's just a tiny little lady. Bosses me around all the time. Yes, ma'am.
That sounds like a good time. A nice antagonistic sort of relationship.
I don't ever have to make a decision about my hair ever.
That is nice.
I just go, I don't know, make it do something. And she does, and it looks great for a while, then I don't go for ages because I'm bad at getting my hair cut.
Fair. I do the exact same thing.
I don't wait a decade. I consistently go at least twice a year.
I've been going every about 2 or 3 months since December, which is not as often as one is supposed to go to keep your dye job looking actually nice, but you know what, that's too bad.
That's fine.
I don't care. It's close enough to my regular hair color, it doesn't look too bad.
I'm gonna go red in the fall again, I think.
It's a good color.
The red I went in the spring, like that crushed cherry red.
Yeah.
That was a good red.
It's a good red.
That was fun. Just bright enough I went, what have I done to myself? But not so bright I'm like, who am I? It's not the electric blue I went a few years ago.
It was a good blue though.
That looked really good on me.
It was fun.
But that was intense. Yeah. Commit to that kind of hair color. Anyway, technically we're a knitting podcast. Probably should talk about knitting.
Yeah. I actually wore a cool thread this week.
I'm wearing one right now.
I wore, so I wanted to wear something sleeveless because it was hot outside, but then I wanted a layer for inside because air conditioning, and I didn't want to wear a sweater. So I wore my Exploration Station, which makes a great sweater substitute.
Yes, it does.
Love it.
It is an excellent thing to be wearing when you want a layer but don't want a layer. Oh, so good. Now is where I put that preemptive, how's this year's cow coming along, Diana? Shh. Oh, you guys. I am
My
actually...
Stash Dash goals are coming along great,
Sure.
for the record.
Well, yes. I know they are. But I'm never worried about your Stash Dash goals. You set reasonable ones. You're not nutsoid like I am. Oh gosh. I'm wearing my Granny Square shrug today, which is a... literally made up the pattern on the fly and made it. It's going to go up in a blog post this week for everybody, so I will try to send Diana that link.
So that I can actually link things in the show notes properly?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It might honestly just be the title of the blog on my phone if I can't have a functioning keyboard.
It's fair.
As it sits right now, you guys, I have no functioning keyboard on my computer, so...
Makes typing a little bit difficult.
It, you know, some stuff is interesting till my replacement one gets in, and I can't just go buy a keyboard because I have a special fancy blind people keyboard, which you can order and you can get in, and it doesn't take that long. I'll have it in like 7 business days max, right? But I still have to wait for it to get here, and I ordered it Friday afternoon, so if the order gets filled within 48 hours of placing, which it usually does, it'll be, and it doesn't even have to leave the city, like it's coming to me from Winnipeg to Winnipeg. It's not going that far. I should theoretically see it Thursday this week. That's if they're running on time and things go smoothly, and I know better.
It's summer.
That's never how things work.
It's summer. Everybody's on vacation.
I'm not worried about it. It's just it'll get here as soon as it gets here, and I will have to do everything by phone and see what I can do from there. So we'll see how that works. But I'm wearing a little shruggy dude that I made from some beautiful yarn I got sent as a test yarns from Brown Sheep Company in this tiger lily orange color. And I used a bit of leftover yarn I had gotten from Kramer in the faded denim for the trim. So it's literally just a cocoon shrug cardi thing. Shrug? Bolero?
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 I think that's it.
I can never. It's a shrug. I can't say the other word. It's a shrug. So I'm gonna...
Cropped jacket.
Yes. I literally just need photos. Diana, we have to remember to take photos today, because I've never quite managed to take a photo of my own back very well.
I don't know. I already succeeded in remembering the sriracha, so I don't know if I'll remember anything else. My memory for the day might already have been used up.
Okay. Well, you know, we'll try. We'll see what we can do. So that's what I'm wearing today, because it's cotton. So it's cool enough to wear on a 24-degree day.
Excellent.
And it looks really pretty. I really like this color.
It does look really nice.
Oh, so good. The yarn's really freaking nice too. I think I'm going to order in enough, because this is actually fingering held double.
Okay.
I'm going to order in enough that I can do one of those summer tops from the interviews, because I think this would make an excellent summer top.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to do that. I got to order yarn. That's a hardship, you guys.
Such hardship.
Such hardship to work on a summer top for next year, because my God, I have so much stuff on the plate right now. Crazy.
I believe that brings us to Woolly Workings.
It does.
So I have not much, for reasons that I won't get into. I've had a very sad few days, I haven't felt much like knitting. So I have not much knitting, but I do have a completely different and very interesting project to talk about later in wool gathering. So
I have a swatch on the end of a sweater.
Do you want to start talking about why? Let's just start with that. Why do you have a swatch and a sweater on the same needles?
So the Endless Summer Adventure shawl's coming out really quickly, and I needed to do a gauge swatch for it, and I used 6mm needles, and I have 2 pairs of 6mm needles. Can't find the other pair for the life of me. So I literally squished up my my first sweater, because I'm knitting that in the round, so I really can squish it up on my 40-inch cord, and I'm literally knitting a swatch on the end of it, because I just need to knit a swatch, you guys. so
It
that I
looks
can do
absolutely absurd.
It looks
For the record.
freaking ridiculous. Because you've got this bunched up sweater that's like, what, 4 or 6 inches?
Something like that.
Something like that. Of the bottom edge of a sweater, literally scrunched to the end of a 40-inch cord and just all tucked in the corner so that you can just do this little tiny blue swatch on the end. Listen, it's what you gotta do, okay?
Sure.
I'm almost done.
6, 7, 8. Haha, I only have 2 more rows of this lace section left.
So it's not going to be too hard, and I'll have it done. It's a swatch, guys. It's not that exciting. The idea and the goal is to have the Endless Summer Adventures out as soon as possible. So, I've got 2 other things I've been working on. 3 other things? How many other things have I been working on?
I wrote down 4.
1, 2, swatches 3. Right, the twin it up.
I'm at the end of a row. Do you want me to talk about my thing?
Yeah.
All right. So the one thing that I haven't worked that much on this week is my Find Your Fade, which was a knit along from like 2 years ago. I'm finally gonna get it done if I can hold these needles together. I have a there and back again row on the lace repeat for this lovely brown truffle yarn that I got in Dublin. This is Hedgehog Fibers yarn, yes, that I got during an 8-hour layover in Dublin. It blended not quite as well as I hoped, but still very interestingly with the Manos yarn that I bought here in Winnipeg, which blended super well with the Ziggy Stardust that I got from, I believe the shop was called Knit or Dye, as in color dye, in London, which blended questionably with the yarn from San Francisco, which I used most of in another project, but I had just enough left to do this. So all of my lovely travel yarn is in this shawl, so I don't know. I keep waffling on what to actually call this project, because when I started it, it was the Find Your Fade cal, but it's not really a cal anymore.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, so now it's like, it's my there and back again, but I still want to incorporate the fade name, so maybe it's like fading there and back again. I don't know. Something about fades and there and back again.
Oh, what was it? We had a comment on one of our videos about my corner to corner blanket. It reminded a lady of candy. So I'm going to call it my candy throw.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does look like that. Like the stripey candy, sort of. A bit.
I don't remember what candy it was she said it reminded her of. And I would, that was a really good idea. I don't eat candy. Not because I don't want to, but because it makes me sick. So
Yeah.
I don't remember what the candy was. But I really like the idea, so I'm super going to call it my candy throw. So
I just love how this truffle yarn knit up. It's just so
the
lovely.
colors turned out so well.
Love it so much. I would
so pretty.
knit an entire sweater out of this truffle colorway. I
Oh
love
my.
it. Well, I mean, the yarn that I got to actually knit a sweater out of is pumpkin spice, which is like, it's the oranges and yellows of this.
Yes. It's not
So
that far off.
I am basically knitting a sweater out of these colors, just slightly brighter. I love these colors.
You cast it on that sweater?
No. I did several gauge swatches and then rethought it a few times, did a whole bunch of math, and then decided I should actually finish things, and then it was hot out, so now I'm waiting for it to be cold again.
Okay, your thinking process just is mind-boggling.
I have a lot of thoughts that result in I just want to finish things right now. I'm in a finishing place.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have like weirdly no desire to start things.
No, take advantage of it, because when you have the desire to start things, nothing gets finished. I do understand how it goes.
So yes, that's been my only knitting this week.
Okay. Now we're on to the Jocelyn Show.
Jocelyn Show!
Listen, I've been knitting on more than just swatches, so that I would be lying if I said that hasn't consumed a huge chunk of my week. And they're boring. There's nothing you can do to make a swatch interesting. It's just a swatch. But it has to be done, because you need to get things done so you can put things in patterns. People get excited about swatches. Alright, by my computer this week, Not because I'm in a finish things mood, but because I would really like free out some of my 4mm needles so I could do something else with them. I putted away a little bit more on my Twin It Up shawl. This has been an ongoing project since January when it was a mystery knit along, and I failed the mystery part of the knit along. And now we are definitely on to the Jocelyn just needs to get it done stage. So I am doing, hey, that was the wrong way forward. Let's do it the right way forward. I've got 3 colors going on here. I've got, if you guys aren't tired of hearing about these yet, 2 solids from Knit Picks. One is a red, one is a blue-green. They're the Elizabeth and Bennett colorways. And then a white speckle that is the girl next door. So this is my Elizabeth Bennett shawl. I have to do 13 little bumps in the red section I'm currently working on, and I'm on bump 12. So
You're so close.
I'm so close to getting into another section of color wedging. So the rows do get faster as I go since I am decreasing to the points. So this has been my putter at the computer while I'm waiting for the computer to process things. And I am currently setting up a new computer, updating tech. So guys, I spend a lot of my time just staring at the computer screen, watching it update or process something.
Know the feeling. I hate turning off my computer at work because then I have to turn everything back on, and then inevitably it all wants to run updates, and so turning my computer off is like a 40-minute process.
It can be. It really can be. It's not too bad. I mean, it'll be nice once it's all done and it's all set up. It's just the setup process is a bit of it's a pain in the butt.
Yep.
And I knew it was going to be a pain in the butt the moment the printer worked the first time. Which means nothing else is going to run smoothly. Absolutely everything else is going to go wrong.
I would have thought that the printer working was a good omen.
No, there's just no. If you don't have printer problems when you set it up, you've usually had a pretty smooth process, and the one thing you yell about is that the printer doesn't work properly and you have to do so much work for it. Literally plugged it in and it did its updates and it was ready to go, and I went, oh, this is not a good sign. Because if the one thing that notoriously never works the first time you plug it in works fine,
You
what
used
does
up
that
all
mean?
your good karma?
It's all gone. I still have so much to do. Sure enough, all week. Like, what? I'm done. I'm done. Tech and me don't get along at the best of times. Never mind at the worst of times. Alright, I finished a thing.
A finished thing.
Look, here's a needle with nothing on it.
Ooh, they're
Nothing
cold. Pass
on
something
it.
on, quick.
No, they're not. 2 little nuggets of leftover yarn. This is the Northern Radiance shawl. So I was using the colors Hibiscus, which is this tiny little pink ball, and the slightly larger speckled white one is called Hibiscus Flowers. They're from Creek Garden Crafts for a penny, and it spent way too long being finished. This was my 2nd full complete time through the shawl. It is my design. The 4th time since I cast it on. I'm still not super stoked with the bump at the top of the crescent shawl, which is a fairly notorious thing. So I may, well, let's be honest, diddly around with it a little bit and come up with some alternative cast-ons for people in case they really hate it. I honestly don't hate it enough to go back and do it again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me that much, but I know it does bother some people. So it is washed, it is blocked. I have to stare at it for a second to remember which way is forward, because I'm a human. And I've already snapped a stitch somewhere in my lace, so I already have to repair the thing.
Oh my goodness.
Love this shawl. The colors are so pretty, and I'm gonna and it turned out beautifully.
I like that a lot.
And the pattern looks really good. I do have the bump at the top that I didn't quite get rid of. Like, it's still there. So like I'll play around with a couple of different casting methods for people, so like they have an alternative if they really hate the bump. I don't care that much. Does that make sense? If I was to stretch it out more, it would mess with the pattern, and I really don't want to mess with the pattern.
Right.
So I really like how the pattern turned out. And let's be honest.
Finished object. It's on my head now.
Finished object on Diana's head.
Yeah,
There we go.
Okay.
And it's 100% Pima cotton, which means I literally have, what, 6 ends to weave in and 1 lace
so
section
light.
to fix. fix. I know it's ridiculously light. It's so beautiful.
Really nice, actually.
And it looks really good on. It might clash a little bit with the orange that I'm wearing today, but it has got some freaking stunning drapes. So I'm really happy with how. See, you can literally tell while I stitch markered my lace.
Oh yeah.
And to be honest, it wasn't the cotton's fault. I was a little aggressive in my lace blocking, as I can be from time to time.
Ooh, that looks really good.
But check it. Whoa. Pima cotton shawl. Oh, that totally clashes with the orange. Whatever. Pink and orange. It's fine. It looks great.
It's great.
It was wonderful with the granny square blanket. The back of the
Yeah,
couch.
you're so many colors right
it's
now.
So colorful. It's crazy.
It's summertime.
All the colors. I did do my bind off in my main color, which gives it a nice little contrast pop. Which you don't have to do, because it literally in the instructions I said you could bind off in your main color, which in my case is the pink, or your contrast color, which is what I did the lace work in. So it's totally a decision up to the person. But it is a giant crescent shawl, so I need to do the measurements for this, take the photos for this, which involves weaving it in ends and repairing it. I was so mad when I realized I'd snapped the stitch. I meant I split the stitch somewhere, which was not the cotton's fault. It was mine for not paying attention, and I pulled too hard, so a half or a third of a stitch snapped, right? That's fine. It happens. Not the end of the world. What I really have to remember to do is when I'm buying indie dyed yarn, I know better. I know better. I know to pre-wash my skeins, especially because I love super intense colors. And I didn't. Okay. And the hibiscus bled.
Oh no.
Now I rescued it because you can be quite firm with cotton, which is nice. You don't have to worry about felting cotton, because cotton doesn't felt.
No, it does not.
So I got most of the pink out of my white where it wasn't supposed to be. Enough of it that it looks fine, but I didn't remember that with intensely colored skeins you have to pre-wash just in case there's overdye going on still, which is not anybody's fault. It's a part of the process. So need to order some more Pima cotton from Penny, because this is so freaking lightweight.
It is gorgeous.
It is wonderful.
It feels wonderful.
To be careful what colors I order it in, because I'm pretty sure the only reason my mom isn't going to take it is because it's pink. Though my mom, in her coloring, would look so good in this. So good in this.
I feel like her personality is not pink, though.
No. No. My mom wears blues and greens. She wears old lady colors, as Jackie would say. It's such an old lady colorway because it's blues. I'm like, no, it's just blue and white. There's nothing old lady about blue and white. Some people like blue and white. And greens. They don't have to technically be old to enjoy it. My grandmother, who was admittedly no spring chicken before she passed away, favorite colors were red and purple. And I'm not talking lilac and pink. I'm talking red and purple at the same time.
The Red Hat Society colors.
Yeah, it is the Red Hat Purple Dress Club Society colors. When she found the club, we were like, it's so you, Grandma. How could you not have known about them before? But I have freed up a project bag and a pair of needles.
Excellent.
And I've completed a pattern.
Even better.
And theoretically, I'll be formatting the pattern on my phone.
May I suggest you wait for your keyboard?
Jocelyn really needs her new keyboard to come in. Hey, I ordered it from the CNIB, and I ordered myself a new tip for my cane. Because I am no longer spherical. I am now kind of conical. Though there's a new store cat at the place where I buy my cat food. And she is freaking adorable. She's a little gray kitten. So we're like maybe 8 months, a year old. We're still very playful. What does the end of my cane look like to all things that are under the age of 2 and 4-legged? It's a toy. So I turned around because my cane was moving and she was down there at the bottom. Just I was like, That's not actually unusual.
Best toy ever.
She's like, the lady who was working there, she's like, we've discussed that. We wanted to know how often you get stopped by pets. I'm like, pets, not too terribly often. They're usually on leashes and humans are in control of the leash. But children in squeaky shoes. And it is the cutest thing you've ever seen. Have you been with me when kid with squeaky shoes come from
Yeah.
Cutest thing you've ever seen.
She was
But
all
I
like
am
in
now...
pink and white, and her shoes literally had squeakers in them.
They've got the because they're not quite shoe stage, but they've kind of got walking sort of figured out. They can do that little kid walk.
Yeah.
And if you've had kids or you've been around kids, you know the walk I'm talking about. We're not crawling anymore, but we're not at that we're in motion, we run stage. There's that delightfully awkward child walking phase where you get the squeaky shoes and the light up shoes, like that stage.
Yeah.
It's the squeaky shoes. I'm programmed to stop when I hear squeaky shoes getting close to me at a very high pitched interval. Because my ball tip at the end of my mobility cane is large. Like it's a big round white tip, so it looks like a ball and it rolls on the ground. So it looks like a toy.
Yeah?
Yeah. So yeah, the kitten was playing with it and she's like, you are so cute. I'm like, Jenny has to hate you, who's the original store cat. So the store has two store cats. It's a pet store. It should have store pets.
Yes.
This in my mind makes complete sense. And I was picking up wet cat food because my monster eats food. My monster was mad because I left the house to go get her wet cat food.
Right.
And go to the vampires. I did the vampires first. For any of you who haven't listened to us, I get blood work done on a very regular basis. It's just a part of what I have to do. I just call the lab the vampires because they suck my blood. It's funny to me, okay? When you have to go see the lab,
I know.
every
understand.
freaking 3 months.
I understand.
You're just like, you know what? I'm over it. You guys get a nickname. All right. Shall I talk about the elephant in the room?
Sure.
I have a mallow cardigan. And I've been working on this mallow cardigan for what? Just over a month now?
Yeah.
Like, barely. I have a front. I have a back. I have 2 sleeves. Count them, peeps. 2. I got one on this side. And I got one on this side.
It looks like it might be a finished cardigan.
You'd think.
Oh no, what's not finished about it?
I changed the collar edging. So if you remember from last week, I did the collar differently than it calls for in the pattern because the pattern they have this beautiful little like ribby eyelet hole cardigan lace to it, which I didn't do. I did this nice solid chunky garter strip border.
Okay.
And then I decided to match it with the sleeves and give them the same width of a garter stripe border at the edge of the sleeve. Looks really good, right?
Yeah.
Looks great with the cardigan. The only problem is the bottom doesn't have it and it bugs me.
Oh no.
So while it is done, I have started picking up stitches at the bottom of it because I'm literally going to, and it's going to be like 6 rows, guys. It's so dead simple. And I still have a whole skein after this one.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So like I can totally do this. It's fine. So today I started picking up stitches right along the bottom, and I'm going to pick up the stitches along the bottom for the front and back panels all the way across. And then it's going to be a lot on my 40-inch cord, but that's fine. Then I'm literally going to knit back and forth a couple of rows, like all the way out to the edge of the collar. And I'm going to give it a little 2-inch collar on the bottom. So the bottom hem will also have a 2-inch garter bump to it, which the pattern does not call for. I am adding this in as a feature. But I like the idea of that weight all the way around the bottom and trimming all my edges. So it's an aesthetic thing for me. So that's what I'm doing. I don't find picking up stitches terribly difficult or annoying. I actually find it quite enjoyable to do. So I'm weird. I will have 50 million ends to weave in when I'm finished, which I find slightly more tedious.
Mm-hmm.
My most hated thing is gauge swatching. Followed up by repair work, weaving in ends, and then picking up stitches. And people's most hated things.
Okay.
That's how the order falls for me. So I have like hardly any stitches picked up at all. So That's fine. I will continue doing that, and then I will get that finished. So next week it will be done. But we're past Sleeve Island, which was the big hurdle. As if you've been long-time listeners, you'll know that the Zadie sweater is not finished because it required me to knit sleeves.
Zadie sweater is stuck on Sleeve Island.
Just listen, I always want my arms to be shorter than they are.
I really enjoyed your accidental pun that you texted me.
I was up to my elbows in sleeves. I didn't even realize I'd done it too till I sent it. And I looked and I went, oh no, what have I done?
Are you actually up to your elbows? Because that sounds like you're almost done.
You'd think, and then you take a look at the length of my forearm. Never mind, she says. An elbow is only maybe halfway there. And you're like, but the forearm's smaller, Jocelyn, and you like a fitted sleeve. And you're right, Jocelyn does prefer a fitted sleeve, because I wear layers in the winter, and it's much easier to shove sleeves in sleeves. If your first layer of sleeve fits closer to your skin than your coat does,
yep,
then you can grab your sleeve and pull it through a lot easier. Otherwise, you've got sleeve up around your elbow in your winter coat, and it never bends well enough to get in there, and then you need someone to shove their hand up your coat so they can pull down your sweater, or you got to disrobe and start all over again.
Oh, I hate that.
Which just reminds me of that Robert Munch book where the little kid gets dressed up and then they have to pee.
I don't think I've read that one, but yeah, that sounds like a thing.
Yeah, the kid gets all dressed up. It's like 50 layers, and the child goes from like child size to like abominable snowman.
Yeah.
And then the little kid says, I gotta pee! And then you gotta take the kid out of all the layers, right? Again, if you've ever had a small child who lived in a continent or part of the world where you need...
Oh, I've been that kid.
Yeah. You understand it's a process.
You gotta budget an extra 10 minutes to get out the door just because you're getting dressed.
You have to do as an adult, too. It's crazy.
10 minutes per person.
And I don't wear thermal underwear or ski pants anymore. It still takes me an extra 10 minutes to get ready to get out the door in the wintertime. So hopefully I do not find 6 rows of knitting as difficult as I found my sleeve. And that's only because I did half a sleeve the wrong way the first time.
Oh no.
Because everybody remembers Jocelyn knits backwards. So when Jocelyn was knitting her sleeve, she picked up her stitches on the right side, which is what you're supposed to do, so that your seam is on the inside of your work.
Mm-hmm.
Working with me here? You working with me here?
Yeah.
I didn't turn the sleeve inside out, and I just started knitting in the round, which meant my purl side was facing forward because I knit backwards.
Backwards and inside out.
So that's why, because when I knit socks, they're inside out. So my outside's on the inside. So my purl bumps face forward when I knit in the round. And I know this. I am aware it's a quirk of how I knit. But I had not, so I literally got down to my elbow. And then I went to go test the decreases and realized, wait a minute, that didn't look right.
Should have just made it a design feature.
My pearls are on the outside. No. See, I've committed. The sweater is going to be done as closely a pattern as I can manage, because I wing so much of my life. And as it was, I was winging the sleeve decreases so that they would be more fitted. So I had to rip it out and start again. But that means I did an entire sleeve in one day because I picked up the stitches for the second sleeve Saturday morning.
Huh.
I did all of this in a day. I even posted on Instagram stories at the elbow marker. And when I've got 10 hours till I record, can I get it done?
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, 1995 BBC Pride and Prejudice miniseries, for getting me through the sleeve. If it wasn't for Colin Firth, this would not have happened.
Holding up this finished sweater, I would like to thank my family,
my friends,
Colin
Firth for supporting me in this endeavor. Whatever, it fits really good, it looks really nice, and I put it on, and not having that border at the bottom bugs me. So long story short, Jocelyn's being nitpicky, but she's making it so she likes it. So
you might as well, you put that much time into it if it's going to be like a few more hours to get something you love.
It's going to be less than a Critical Role episode. It's literally I even got 2 rows. It's 4 rows of garter knitting. I have to do.
You got this.
Even at, what do I got? 200, 300 and some odd stitches? That's nothing.
No.
I will actually probably spend more time weaving in my ends. If I'm honest. So we should have another finished object next week. It also is a great deal of yardage for Stash Dash. Hey, if I can plow through this and not get too distracted later today, we're gonna go pick up my sewing machine.
Yeah.
It's in! If I get this done today, sew and get the stuff done this week I need to get done as soon as possible, I could almost have the Twin It Up done before Icon. I could. Woo! Now, don't get me wrong, for our Icon, which is an event we're going to go to, because we're both anime fans, I'm going to be working on My First Sweater, because it's literally knitting in the round.
I'm going to be in a garter stitch section, so I'll be working on my fade.
Yeah, which makes total sense. So that's going on. But yeah, that just occurred to me. If I haul butt and get everything done, I might have 2 finished objects next week.
Mr. Diana thought he might join us at Icon for at least one of the days.
Hey, he's not really into anime. That's a big deal.
No, but like we're going and Mr. B's going. It's like, maybe I'll try it again. He went once a few years ago and was like,
he will not be offended if I don't make him a seaweed sandwich, considering he can't have seaweed.
Yeah, it's
okay.
I don't know if it's the seaweed or like the rice or like I don't know. We don't know what it is, but he's not about it. Something about sushi style food is not good.
So I will apologize, but I will not make him a sandwich.
I think he'll be okay with that.
Okay.
He's also not super big on tofu, so
I
think he'll be okay.
Make Mr. B eat it every once in a while, because I enjoy eating it.
Yeah, I make him eat it too sometimes, but it's not his favorite.
Won't kill him. Pork's not my favorite, and he feeds it to me every once in a while.
Same, so yeah. No.
He'll deal.
Yep. Just depends who's making dinner that night.
That's totally fair. Yeah, no, it'd be nice to have him. Oh, speaking of his brother, I need to pin that gamer boy to the wall and get him to tell me whether or not he's coming on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
He's back from Hamilton, isn't he? I don't remember. I'll text him and find out later.
Yeah.
Let's be like, hey, you're back in the city. Are you coming or are you not coming? I need to know for sandwich preparations.
Yes.
He's accustomed to my oddness. It's fine. I'm gonna wear my pink and my clashing pink and peach.
Do it.
Brings me great joy.
So that was Woolly Workings / Fiber Flubs.
Well, listen, there's no point in me putting it down to pick it back up to talk about it again. That's just crazy.
I think we also even kind of covered Yarn on the Go, because you're the only one that went places this week.
I don't know, does the
oh no, I kind of did. I went out to my parents.
Oh, look at that. I'm so many clashing colors.
I was out at my parents yesterday when we did the virtual knit club with Patreon people.
Yeah, I enjoy that so much.
I do too.
Oh, it was really nice.
I'm sorry my Wi-Fi was kind of crap. I just really loved sitting in the gazebo.
Oh, the gazebo was fine. It's when you wandered into the garden that we really lost you.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, well, maybe she'll go back into the gazebo. We were getting great still images of your mom's garden, but it wasn't streaming per se any video.
That's fair.
I'm like, oh, wait, it happens in gardens. It's not the end of the world.
My mom keeps talking about starting an Instagram with all her garden pictures, because she's actually really good at taking garden photography.
She's a really nice garden.
And she has a really nice garden, so
I would follow her.
Yeah. So if that actually does become a thing, because she's got like 6 months of content from like 1 month of gardening.
Lord.
I may help her set that up so that
yeah,
that'd
be good. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, cool. No, I would totally follow your mom. Your mom's got a great garden.
So I think that brings us to Wool Gathering, where I was going to talk about my other weird project.
Okay, I'm yawning.
Okay.
I haven't had any coffee today.
Fair.
I don't want to work on that swatch. Notice how I'm not working?
Totally get it.
Okay.
Okay, so in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be away at DEF CON. So not sure what that's going to do to the podcast schedule. Probably going to involve a guest person.
The YouTube stuff will go up.
Yes.
But if Jocelyn's in charge of the audio, it might get backlogged. Which is okay. Because if you're listening to us on Audible, though, hey, we're on Spotify now.
Yeah, we are.
It's exciting. The Audible has been borked for the last 2 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
So, which wasn't our fault.
No, something changed in how FeedBurner works,
yeah.
and so now FeedBurner doesn't work.
Yeah.
But other things do. So
yeah.
Anyway,
so that's a whole other can of worms.
Not important.
The episodes will go up. We'll probably get a guest person in for one.
Yeah.
And whether or not the audio ones go up and you get a twofer for 1 week,
we'll
it's
see.
just
We'll see how that
depends
goes.
on Jocelyn and Tech.
Anyway, DEF CON is an information security conference or a hacker conference, depending on who you're talking to and how official you want to sound. If you're trying to get funding from your company to go to such a thing, it's an information security conference.
Got it.
But there is a beard contest because, this is a male-dominated thing. But a few years ago, they added the freestyle category for all those people who can't actually grow a beard but would like to participate in creatively sculpting a beard-like thing anyway.
You're freestyling a beard?
I'm gonna freestyle a beard.
This is what it boils down to. By the way, that is our episode title, Freestyling Beard.
Okay.
It just occurred to me, and if I don't say it out loud, I won't remember.
I have 10 feet of vinyl tubing.
Got it.
And 6 strands of dollar store LED fairy lights. And I'm going to combine these together somehow to make a tentacle-y sort of looking beard.
Light up beard.
Light up beard.
I really think you gotta go with the attaching it on a headband.
Yes.
Yeah. The more I think about it, the more that just makes
some
it
kind of headband
sense.
that goes up on top of my head and then because
that'll just distribute that weight really nicely for you.
That actually is a fantastic idea.
Okay,
I gotta go back to the dollar store.
Sure. So. There's one right by my local Walmart. Where my sewing machine is. Guys, my brain's got... I could have gone at 9 a.m. this morning. I stayed here and I did my work.
How long are these? I don't even know.
I have no idea.
2.2 meters. That's not really helpful.
I was like, unless you think in meters very clearly.
This is 10 feet. These are 2.2 meters. I don't know.
You're Canadian. Know both.
7.38 feet, I think? I think that's what that's telling me. Anyway, I'm going to try and construct a light-up beard on some kind of a fabric base, and so there's going to be some sewing and a lot of gluing and some electrical work, and...
Don't worry, I will make sure we get photos.
We're going to see how this goes. I'm going to try and make a beard. But it can't be a basic beard.
No.
It's got to be a freestyle beard.
Yeah.
So that's my strange project that I will keep you appraised of.
I want photos, man, so bad.
Oh, there's going to be photos and probably some videos of, well, that didn't work.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And if I magically have, because this is in 2 weeks, I leave 2 weeks today.
Uh-huh.
If I magically have even more time, I'm going to try to hook it up to a tiny computer in such a way that I can make it blink. That's probably not going to happen. I would be delighted if I can just get it into a thing that I can wear on my face with a switch that I can turn it on and off.
Yeah, I think the computer part is a pipe dream.
Yeah, the computer part is next year. I have grand plans for next year's beard.
You really do.
It's gonna be
Let's
great.
get through this year's beard first.
Yeah. I have to learn how to attach vinyl tubing to a fabric strip on my face.
This week in the evenings, I suspect you'll be spending your evenings sculpting your hair for Icon.
Also that. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that tonight.
Yeah.
I gotta wash last year's hairspray out of it.
Okay, then yeah,
I'll do that tonight.
Yeah.
I gotta wash my own hair anyway, so I'll probably just stick the wig on my head, wash that first, and then wash my hair.
There's a mental image for you. Where are you going, honey? Have a shower, pink wig on your head.
Like a bad looking pink wig because it's just been shoved in a corner of like last year's hairspray. It's got dust on it too.
Oh God, you gotta
It's
treat
bad.
your wigs better.
Yeah, I know. I realized about like 6 or 8 months after Icon last year, like I should really like put something over that. So at that point, I covered it and put it back on the styrofoam head, but it's not great. Maybe I'll do some Instagram stories about styling a wig.
Well, I got the black blue hair wig. It's long. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to, it's curled, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to fiddle with it so I can get some of it pulled up out of my face. And then I'm going to wear it with my green fox ears and green foxtail. And then I can just wear whatever clothes I want.
Yeah.
And then just have a funky colored hair for the day. Because you can. Or not, and just have my regular hair.
I think I'm also just going to style a cute wig that I can wear, because I don't know that I'm feeling motivated enough to do a full cosplay.
That's fair. I haven't had any time to work on anything. And if we're super truly honest, if I'd known for sure Mr. B was coming, I would have gone as one of his zodiac signs. That would embarrass him greatly.
Yeah.
And I would have taken great delight in that, but we didn't know for sure if he was coming or not. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a French maid outfit. It wouldn't be that hard to do. I also have chains.
I'm thinking of some questions that I'm not going to ask.
One of the zodiac signs is Virgo. She wears a maid outfit.
I know. But I also know that you haven't cosplayed her before.
Nope.
So, which means you have those things for other reasons.
Yeah, I do.
Which I'm not going to inquire about.
Listen, I won a bowling competition in a French maid costume once, okay?
Okay, that's not the reasons I was thinking of.
We played at an international themed bowling championships, and I played on a women's team. And we were from France, so we dressed up in French maid uniforms. And there's nothing quite like being in your early 20s, and I do mean early 20s, because I still lived in Brandon at the time, bowling with women in their 40s or 50s who have full-grown children who are like your age. When they have consumed enough adult beveraging that they like to use the hand dryer to cool their legs down by straddling it. Just game one. We may have pre-gamed that.
Wow.
My dad's done it for several years. He was a sumo wrestler one year.
Ooh.
With his team.
That seems like it would add an extra layer of challenge.
It really does, and it's a delightful, fun competition for bowling. It was always great fun, so I enjoyed it. But yeah, that's why I have a French maid outfit.
Okay.
There's a perfectly legitimate reason.
Yep.
It's for a bowling competition. I want a trophy.
That's probably the most family-friendly reason to own a French maid outfit I've ever heard.
Probably. Since my mom sat in the row, she had all that bowling lane stuff, and then you got that like barrier thing where you got a couple of that tall bar stool tables and things going on.
Yeah.
My mom sat back up in there and made comments the whole way through, so like super helpful. All right, but yeah, I think that's it for Willy Workings.
Wool gathering even.
Oh, right.
Yeah. No, we're good. We're on to literature.
I have been busy enough that I've started listening to some books, but I've been too busy to really get any sort of in-depth for it. One is The Alchemists of Loom, Loom, by, see, this is why I should write her name down because I've already forgotten.
Eliskova? I think that's what my scrawl says. This will be linked to the Goodreads page in the show notes at northernitspodcast.com.
It'll have to be because I'm through the intro and I'm in the first chapter. So all I can tell you is I'm listening to it right now. I have not listened to it long enough to decide if I like it or not. Does that make sense?
Totally sense.
Because you're like, I'm enjoying the narrator, and I like how the story's been introduced, but I haven't had enough story yet to figure out whether or not I like it.
But it's off to a good start.
All right. And I've also downloaded and started The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. Guys, you're going to be hearing about this book for a while.
It's a behemoth of a book.
It is 45 hours. I think it's the whole thing. I think it's all the books in the series that I did, which is fine.
But it's a behemoth.
45 hours.
It's more than a work week.
I will be listening to it for at least 2 weeks. Might get interrupted because there's a readathon next week, so I might put it down for that and read something else. Because it is not the Tome Topple readathon, so I don't need the book to be more than 500 pages to count.
45 hours? I think that's over 1,000. Well over 1,000. Many over 1,000. Like 2,000.
Then some. So I think it's the complete Way of Kings. I think it's all of them. So I didn't look that closely. I just knew I wanted to listen to it. It was on my to-get list, and I picked it up. That's about all the forethought I put into that one, guys. And then definitely going to be having some random weird ones show up because of the readathon next week. So I got to finalize my TBR and get that going. So, because, you know, I've got Icon at the end of the week. My parents coming in at the end of the week. So what I need to do tomorrow is start a readathon.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Out of my mind.
I started reading a new book because my hold on an audiobook that I placed in like February finally came up. It's been a very popular book.
Apparently. Whew.
It is Measure What Matters, which is all about OKRs, which are objectives and key results. It's a book about management and goal setting and management.
I'm already yawning.
I know, so am I. I wouldn't choose to read it, but the founders of my company read it, and then a bunch of other people read it, and now my company is implementing OKRs, and I feel like I should actually like read this book because I want to get into like a managing position eventually. So I feel like
managing position.
A managing position, yeah.
I like your use of wordage.
Yeah. So I think I should actually read this book, and I was never going to actually read it in a physical book. It just wasn't going to happen. So subjecting myself to it for 20 minutes at a time as I drive to and from work seems to be working.
Okay.
It's pretty simple. You have an objective, which is it's your goal. You want to build the best whatever app. You want to build the best app for things.
Yeah.
And then your key results are the measurable, time-bound things that if you meet all of them, you have succeeded at your objective.
Okay.
So you want to have 10,000 active users by April 6th. You want to have X number of installs. You want to have whatever low error rate, whatever. Stuff like that. But like key results always have numbers. And that's how you know if you've made your objective. And so as a company, you typically do these things every quarter. And then maybe you have like annual ones. That's it. That's all you need to know from this book. But somehow it's 300 pages long.
So it's teaching people how to make manageable to-do lists to reach goals?
Yeah.
Okay.
That everybody else at the company has to respect, and they can't keep adding more stuff to your to-do list because they're not in line with the company's objectives and key results.
Got it. So it boils down to set reasonable goal, or set a goal, set it reasonable breakdowns, and don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Which really is just sort of a rule for life.
But a lot of management people seem to really love this book, so
okay.
If you're a management person, maybe you will also really like this book.
It's entirely possible. I want to read about the history of the semicolon when it comes out later this year.
Weirdly, so do I. Although I might wait for somebody to make an interesting YouTube video about it.
Okay.
That's about my level of interest. Don't know that I want to read an entire book.
Hey, I really enjoyed The Interesting Life of the Human Cadaver.
This is the stuff where I really enjoy like YouTube videos and podcasts of it, because like I'm interested in it for like between 10 and 60 minutes, but not enough to read a whole book.
Well, finding out what happens to the human cadavers in the 21st century was fascinating.
I am vaguely curious, but not that curious.
That's totally fair. Yeah, I learned about bleach this morning.
Bleach and bananas. That's what we talked about.
That's what we talked about.
The other thing that I'm reading right now is Babylon's Ashes, which is the 6th book.
Yes, because you finished the 5th book from the Expanse series, so now you're on to the 6th book.
Yeah. It's the 6th book in the Expanse series, which continues to be awesome, and I can't say anything about it because it would spoil all of the earlier books. But it continues to be excellent.
It's not just the way it goes. You want to tell people about this really fascinating book, but it's like 7 of 12, and you're like, God, just go read 1 through 7.
The book club at work has started reading book 1, so I'm really excited to watch them get to all the twists and turns and the big reveals, and like, what? And like, yeah!
Yeah, because you want to talk to people about it, but you don't want to spoil the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm there.
Mr. Diana has finished the entire series, or at least as far as the whole series is so far, and he's just been like, finish it! I want to talk to you about things! So I'm taking the disadvantage of the workbook club.
How do you think I feel about you and Mr. B and Fairy Tale? Could you please just finish watching the series? I would like to talk to you about it.
No! Yeah, I could probably do that sometime. Alright, yeah, so Babylon's Ashes.
Yeah.
It's the Expanse series.
I should read that at some point.
You should also watch the show. It's on, I guess it's on Amazon Prime now.
Okay.
The show is also really well made. If you're into sci-fi, you should definitely read and watch.
Did you not hear me at the start of this podcast where I said thank you to 1995's BBC miniseries of Pride and Prejudice?
So you're obviously not that into sci-fi, so maybe you don't care. But if any of you wonderful people are interested in sci-fi,
if it was made after 2001, the odds of me having watched it are really low.
You like your 90s BBC historical dramas?
I finished rewatching Dawson's Creek the other week. Thank you very much. I actually laughed myself silly.
Honestly, most of my Netflix to watch list is like modern BBC period. It's BBC period dramas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's most of my to watch list.
If it's a BBC period drama, oh, I have watched it.
Got Called the Midwife on there. I've got,
oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
Oh, there's the Canadian detective guy.
Murdoch Mysteries!
Yeah, that one's on there.
Have you not watched Murdoch Mysteries?
I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never watched it continuously. I've seen a few episodes over at Mr. Diana's parents.
It's amazingly it's so Canadianly cheesy.
It is.
It's so adorable.
I like it.
And they're like season 13 is filming right now.
Oh my, it's still going?
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, I know. Oh
my god.
Listen. The amount of spoofing they do is intense. And I love it so very much.
It doesn't have to be an accurate period drama.
Oh gosh, no. It's so very well done. And they hit some really good keynotes. It's just, such a good series.
I finished the lace section.
I'm so delighted you're going to watch that Murdoch Mysteries.
Eventually one day. It's been on the list for a long time.
Me and my mom have been watching for years. Then again, me and my mom watched Sequest this spring, so you really cannot trust us.
I had a Game Boy game from Sequest, and I had no idea what the point of that game was.
Sure.
Aside from you're in a submarine. Like, the game explains its storyline not at all.
It's okay, the TV show also explains the storyline pretty much not at all, too, so it's fine.
They're on a submarine?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
For exploration.
Okay.
Obviously. And monitoring the colonies under the sea. Because in 2020, the world's gone to crap.
Sounds about right.
Or 2010 or something? I don't remember what it was forecasted for the future. Anyway, so cheesy. So good. That's where I sit. Come on, I'm a massive Stargate SG-1 fan. And Babylon 5. Like, I think that says it all right there. Stargate went into the 2000s.
It did?
It did.
I remember watching a few episodes when I was babysitting. That was a long time ago.
No, a long time ago is when The Little Mermaids knew. And the kids you're babysitting only watched The Little Mermaid.
I loved the Little Mermaid board game when I was 3 or 4.
No, she loved the movie.
I enjoyed the movie too.
I can still sing all the lyrics pretty clearly.
I know like all the lyrics to all the Disney songs from like 90 onwards.
No, but the only one I can do from my childhood that I used to watch repetitively was Robin Hood. And that was when Robin was a fox.
I love that one.
You know, Mr. B had never seen it. It offended me so much I pulled it up and I made him watch it. And I rarely put my foot down and go, you were watching this now. I usually go, you should see that. But how often do I get to go, it's an older thing? And he goes, I've never seen that. Never. So like, excuse me, what now? You haven't heard the Old Lily song? Like, this is happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, this is occurring, sir.
I always love the whistling bit, and I can't do it.
Oh, I can't whistle with it. Darn. Oh, the worst.
Okay.
Shall we call it done and go get my sewing machine?
We should do events real quick.
Okay, I can do events real quick. I'm almost done my swatch. This still looks ridiculous.
Okay, events real quick. Icon is this weekend. We're doing anime stuff.
Yep.
Also on Saturday is the Little Britain pop-up fiber festival at Little Britain United Church in Lockport.
Yeah, we'll be there for that.
Yeah, it's like 10 to sometime.
10 to something.
10 to something. There's a Facebook event linked in the show notes, northernknitspodcast.com.
Looked at it the other day and I still don't remember things.
Stash Dash, which is run by the Knit Girls podcast.
Yep.
Is May 24th to August 24th.
Yep.
So we're solidly halfway through that.
Oh, yeah.
More than even.
More than.
And also Tour de Fleece is still on, just finished.
On to the 28th.
Tour de Fleece, so spinning during Tour de France.
I'm still arguing with picking up fibers and starting it, but I know once I figure that little diddly fiddly bit part out, I'll be good to go.
I will wind yarn off of my bobbin so that I have a skein and then can spin further things because I will have free bobbins.
Well, my goal for Tour de Fleece was literally to prep fiber and figure out how to transition my drafting from drop spindle to...
Oh, yeah, so you're most of the way there.
I'm on track for my goals.
I lowered my goal to wind the yarn off the bobbins so I have bobbins for more spinning projects.
My ultimate spinning goal this year would be to spin enough to make a night shift shawl. But that was a crazy
I don't think that's happening.
For Tour de Fleece for me. A good goal for the end of the year, because once I get into it, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes so fast when you get into it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I just need to do the getting into it part. Creep closer.
Then middle of September, the exact dates will be in the show notes, but the Manitoba Fiber Festival is coming up here in Winnipeg, in Assiniboia Downs. And then Knit City in Vancouver at the end of September. October, yep.
4th through 8th, I think.
Sorry, yes. Beginning of August. It was the end of September last year, that's why I had that in my head.
It's because it's always the weekend before Canadian Thanksgiving, and Canadian Thanksgiving moves.
Oh, okay.
It's not a stationary holiday. It's
You're
like
right.
it's Passover and Easter. It's
it has
flexible.
to do with the moon cycles, which is really weird.
Yep.
Why do we still do things? Why do we have like holidays based on moon cycles in modern day?
Because we still have a moon.
Yeah, but like, why
It
didn't they
still
just pick a day and
cycles?
leave it there? Because like economies and things.
Because they don't have to necessarily make things all terribly easy for people who can't track something as simple as a lunar cycle.
You know what? It's very complicated.
It's so not complicated.
It's so complicated.
So not complicated.
Moons, how do they work?
Moons, how do they work? That's
It's like magnets.
That's a whole other podcast. Whole other podcast.
I believe that one's
Moons,
called
how do they
Star
work?
Talk.
Well, they'll be celebrating the 50 years since we landed a man on the moon.
Yeah, that was yesterday, I think.
Yes.
Chris celebrated by taking a really nice moon picture with our fancy camera.
Yes, I
We were
saw.
out in Stonewall.
I saw.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, sure, that's one way of doing it. I guess.
He was pleased.
That's cool. It
Pretty
was a
good
really,
picture.
it was a good photo, so
Yeah.
that was exciting.
I missed any events? I think that's all the events.
Oh, you totally missed an event.
Oh, what did I miss?
Pretty big event.
Oh my gosh, the Across the Prairies Cal. That one that I haven't started yet.
The one where you got the 5 skeins of yarn to knit up, and you have less than 2 months to do it in.
Yeah, so that one started on July 1st, and it's going until the end of September.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
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 We're doing that in conjunction with the Fiber Friends,
Yep.
Cozy Up Knits,
Yep.
and Tale of Two Knitters.
Not Fiber Friends.
Not Fiber Friends?
It's
Nope.
Feather Stitches.
Shoot. It had an F. I was so close.
We're quite close. It's close because I'm participating in the self-striping sock along.
That's
the Fiber
it.
Friends are posting.
Okay.
But I haven't cast it on because I wanted
Sorry,
to get
Feathered Stitches.
I wanted to get the cardigan done before I cast it on the socks. I'm now just getting kind of warm under all this cotton. Man, I love cotton. Okay, go. Sorry.
Okay, now that's all the things.
Now that's all the things that we're doing for the moment, yes.
Okay. Cool. So you can find all of this information at northernknitspodcast.com. You can contact us at northernknitspodcast@gmail.com. And we now have functional audio on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify. We're now on Spotify. Yay!
Fancy!
And for those of you that have come here from the audio going, where the heck is my audio? It's, I'm going to try and redirect the FeedBurner link because it's broken. And so if you're still not getting audio updates, it's probably because you have the FeedBurner link, and I'll try to do something about that. I'm sorry.
It's so far over my head. I'm just grateful that you're the one who has to do that. And I'm sure you're grateful I'm the one who has to deal with the uploading and exporting
Something
part.
in the background of the server code of somebody's server changed, and now it doesn't work.
Okay.
So the best I can, I'm doing my best here. I'm trying to work around it.
No idea, you guys. Well, that's it. If you want to chat with us in between podcast episodes, it's quickest to get a hold of us via the Instagrams.
Yep.
Mostly because we're both addicted.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. We're Northern Mids Podcast on Instagram. You can also chat with us via Facebook. We do have a Facebook group thingy.
It generally has the same content as the Instagram.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, and otherwise, if you can, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, talk to your buddies about us. We do have Patreon if that is something that you are able to do. I crowdsourced some information from our Patreon gathering that we just had this past Saturday for our electronic knit-in. So hopefully, once I have a functioning keyboard, I can get that stuff live. I literally have to edit some things and then copy over.
Keyboards.
I need a semicolon. I need some periods, darn it. Do not have large requirements, but they are requirements. Otherwise, I will say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit. Let's go get a sewing machine.
Freestyle beard, because I'll forget about that.
That's totally fair.
Okay, done.